hour is late. A hero was lost. And the enemy approaches to render all in fire. Alaroth, I'll guard you yet. May deliverance alight as I become your Aegis.
Every day. Well, did you hear? Who approaches?
The plane of Hypnolotomakia. I have found it. And there she is. The object of my pursuit.
Greetings and welcome, fellow Dragon Knights, to another episode of Let's Play Divinity 2 Developer's Cut. We are now truly within the flames of vengeance. After that, well, masterful play of Igurnas in Ego Draconis. And we have a cheery fellow addressing us here. Let us begin. I mean, let's actually hope that this works, because the transition between Ego Draconis and Flames of Vengeance has some difficulty. So I'm kind of hoping this is recording correctly. You're referring to me? That's the divine over there, you know?
I do not seek the seven gods' whelp. I seek you, the last heir of Ouroboros. How good it is to be here in this empire of dream, desire, and fruition, where one is truly omnipotent. That those possibilities are but ephemeral illusions, as long as I remain caged in the darkness of a hostile realm.
Maybe you should tell us who you are before we continue this conversation.
I am nothing, where once I was. My name, an omen. My actions, roots of awe and fear. Yet this matters not until I am free again. To get here, that was nothing, for I know this place well, and as yet retain an inkling of my abilities. In Rivelon I am weak, but in Rivelon I must be strong once more. See my undead legions walk before me.
If it is indeed the breeze of the abyss you hanker for, I believe it best you be kept shackled.
You speak before your turn, secret incarnation. You have not yet heard my terms. I will take you away from here, dragon, and bring you to the city of Alaroth, where my true self rots away deep beneath the cobbled streets, kept alive only by my dormant powers. Free me, and I will free the divine in turn.
Lucian mistrusts you, which makes me suspicious of you as well.
His notions are but illusions, my friend. As is the idea that you have a choice. To Alaroth we fare. Now.
Be careful, Dragon Knight. Do not risk what the release of this thing may beget for my sake. Here dwells evil. Do not forget.
Dragon Knight, where have you been? What has happened? Does Igerna live, and is the Damned One dead?
Well, I do appreciate that that Terminator-style entrance with the fake music, which I'm kind of hoping will not get copyrighted. I mean, it is just drum beats and all that, but it is an iconic sound.
You have gained new insights.
Yay. Some misinformation made my previous quest quite futile.
Misinformation? Surely Zandalor was not mistaken in his assessment of the situation.
Yes, though he was not to blame for it. Only Damien and Igerna knew.
Then all is lost. Nothing can halt their black conquest now.
I wouldn't know about that. There's always the Divine, who is still alive in case you didn't know. Alive and ready to be freed.
Belagar's bollocks, it cannot be.
It's a curious turn of phrase.
Pardon my language, my friend, but this is the most fortuitous news I have heard in a very long time. And you have the means to enact this miracle.
I think so, yes. About as sure as Zandalor was about Igerna, that is.
Then I can only hope your wisdom and judgment run even deeper than that of the savant sorcerer who shields us all. And even if you can free Lucian, I fear it may not be enough to turn the tide. Alaroth is in imminent peril, and she needs the dragon to deliver her.
If Alaroth is in peril, I must help. What can I do?
Divine, where to begin? As you have most certainly noticed, we are trapped beneath a canopy of flying fortresses that threaten to destroy the city. Fortunately, Zandalor has a plan, no matter how desperate, that involves you and Alaroth's liberation.
So this entire plan depended on my return? What if I never had?
Though there is no alternative plan, we did send someone on Zandalor's mission in case you had fallen in the Hall of Echoes. You know her well. It was Commander Rode who took up the challenge and ventured into the dark. Yes, to anticipate your question, she was placed under arrest last time you met. But the greatest dragon slayer in history belongs in the field, not behind bars chewing old bread, wouldn't you say?
Well, she did sort of threaten to kill me, and probably would have if she wasn't stopped.
What a woman, Dragon Knight. I pray I may soon look into her feral yet gorgeous eyes again.
You haven't heard of her since.
I have not. But I hope with all my heart she is yet alive. But let us get back to Zandalor's plan. Here is what he told me. When the fortresses started to appear above Alaroth like black stars in a noon sky, he realized all were doomed unless he sought help. This is why he delved for an ancient being buried in the catacombs neath the city. It lies incarcerated by the most unyielding sorceries known to any living mage. A combination of locks and barriers. And yet Zandalor removed from it the first spell of protection so he could use it to shield Alaroth. This was a desperate act. For if what dwells there breaks free, a second Damien will arise. And yet it is him you need to find, the tightly chained essence of the mad wizard Berlin.
If this man is so dangerous, why must I seek him out?
Zandalor knows he cannot hold the shield forever, so he bid me to tell you you will need to contact Berlin and persuade him to cede to you the Eye of the Patriarch.
Why is the shield finite?
Right now it is the heart of the city, the life's blood that shelters it from death. Yet, like any other heart, sooner or later, its beat is doomed to stop. But I can see you are not in the mood for metaphors. It boils down to this. Upholding the shield costs a tremendous amount of mental energy that will eventually exhaust even a wizard's mind.
Ah, so until Zandalor runs out of mana. Got it.
Suffice to say, we have hours, not days.
So who is Berlin, really? And why is he imprisoned under Alaroth?
I honestly have no idea. This man, or creature, was completely unknown to me until Zandalor informed me of its existence. I asked him what he knew and how, but he remained strangely reticent. For the first time since I have known him, and that has been a good many years, I think I saw fear in his eyes. Never have I felt so nerve-shatteringly uncomfortable.
What on earth is the Eye of the Patriarch?
It is a device of massive destruction that will allow us to obliterate Damien's horror-fueled armada. The logistic particulars are unclear to me as yet, but we'll tackle those when we get there.
Suppose I find Berlin. What then?
Somehow, you will need to persuade him to give you the Eye. Barter with him. Promise him everything in return, but do not free him. Even if it means failure, do not set him loose. If you can, bring us back the Eye.
And Road is already on his trail, with information as vague as this?
Yes and no. Before she set off, Road told me she would consult a famous historian. She believes he would know more about Berlin and the dungeon he is in. Maybe you should seek him out as well. A scholar named Thaddeus. He is perhaps the most erudite member of the Prancing Seahorse.
Now, we have heard of the Prancing Seahorse before. We have already met some members of the Historical Society.
You know this establishment, do you not? The Gentleman's Club? Mind you, it's more than that. Their library is a veritable treasure trove for those with an interest in obscure magic.
And hopefully loads of skill books.
But I shall keep you no longer, unless you have further questions. Time is of the essence. Time is what we lack.
Anything else I can do for you while I'm in the city?
My word, you can. But I hesitate to ask even more of you. Once you venture beyond Mardanius Plaza, you will find a whole district of death. A no-go zone. Barred and barren. Not long after you closed the rifts and left to find again a soul, an uprising began. An uprising of walking dead. I declared that part of the city lost, because I cannot jeopardize the life of one more champion. Still, if you could find the fountainhead of this plague, and let run dry that hellish well, once more all of Alaroth would be in your debt.
Augustus is clearly some sort of poet in his mind. There's so much you've told me, yet so much remains unclear. I must speak to Zandalor.
I'm afraid that is impossible. He is wrapped in deep meditation and cannot be disturbed. Should his shielding spell fail, Alaroth will fall in a matter of moments.
So once we have this Eye of the Patriarch, what do we do then?
I think Zandalor has a plan, but he didn't say much about it. Worries for later, my friend. One of many.
If I am to find this mad wizard, where should I look? Any clues?
The only thing I know is that he must reside in the catacombs that run like mole-dug labyrinths beneath our feet. I have heard the most extensive of them lie directly under the Academy on Source Square. But getting there will mean crossing the Styx.
Can you point me in the direction of some services here in Alaroth?
But of course! What is it you are looking for?
A necromancer.
The best in town would be Dr. West. He's the city's mortician, and the most avid practitioner of dark lore. He currently resides in the emergency barracks on Mardanius Plaza, down near the city entrance. Would you like to hear more about the other services in Alaroth?
This is probably a coincidence, but the way he says, would you like to hear more, reminds me a bit of the infomercial screens in Starship Troopers. It's probably a complete coincidence. An alchemist.
Chanel's your girl. She lives on Lanelor Lane. She's a skilled alchemist and a fine illusionist as well. Would you like to hear more about the other services in Alaroth?
A skills trainer.
As luck would have it, 2 of my best trainers are right here in the Ministry. You can find them on the upper floors. Would you like to hear more about the other services in Alaroth?
An enchanter.
There used to be one on the 1st floor of the Phoenix Inn. But he's long dead, I believe. Would you like to hear more about the other services in Alaroth?
I think I've heard enough.
As you wish.
Goodbye for now, Augustus.
Best of luck, Dragon Knight.
Right.
So, now you know who I am. Know what lies deep under rock and earth. Even Zandalor bids you to find me, and you will. Find me. Release me.
Yeah. My instinct tells me no. But ultimately, it's not up to me. Alright, well, let's get our bearings at the very least. All the other waypoints are gone because, well, we saw Oribas Fjords getting blown up. All the entrance to the city as well. We have the Ministry over here, I believe. Yeah, we can go right in. And someone has been leaving bread all over the floor. Yeah, plenty of quests to go around, although I think I will hold off on doing anything of particular note until later, because I need to double check that the recording is actually going well and reset everything so I can just continue onwards forward. So rather than just keeping you in suspense, let's just do that. But let's just fill up the time a bit, because yeah, let's talk about the ending of Eco Raccoons, because I didn't quite get a chance to do that last time around, since on account of this game not progressing forward quite as it had intended. Although considering how long the entrance into Flames of Vengeance is, that was quite a trick Gona pulled, and a quite effective one at that. A rather dark turn, which is not that unusual for Divinity games, I believe, because they require a lot of darkness to be able to get things done. At least from what I have seen, at least from how stories are usually set up within the Divinity universe. darkness is always encroaching and usually quite good at winning on occasion even. Although that's usually not how it ends completely. We shall see. But then again, I have not seen the story quite before we started with Igor Draconis, which sort of suggests I don't know how the Divine got captured in that particular plane. Let's hope we can find out. In any case, thank you all for watching. See you all next time.